He's Europe's brisk aeroport, and as engaging millions of passengers. Could Heathrow as well be a magnetically for the hissing warmth? Heathrow holds the UK recording for July's hottest day always. 3 years ago it achieved a stifling. It as well brief-written 2018's highest heat of 35°C, up creature pipped by Faversham, in Kent recent Thursday. And recent year the temperature gauge pointed at, you guessable at, Heathrow. So which's challenging Heathrow to growth to the top of the heat charts? To get a standardized heat, a weather plant, named as a Stevenson display, is utilized. These white boxes, that include a temperature gauge, are established for FT, over the land and are dotted all about the UK. The weather plant at Heathrow is arranged really shut to the northern lane, so in aeroplanes always disembarkation and takeaway. Does it do a distinction to the heat? Not on to Gender Williams, Prof of Air Scientific at the College of Reed. Planes do a insignificant distinction, says Professor Williams. Each period you use power, if he's of a aircraft's motor, or though fair switch on a lighting lamp or take a douche, he's ultimately rotated in warmth, yet all of how is a insignificant impact compared to the impact of the city warmth aisle. The city warmth aisle is, Professor Williams explains, the trial wherever buildings consume more than sun rather than outdoor fields. Cities tend to hover onto the warmth for much longer, that can shove up temperature by a few degrees, he says. Heathrow, in its big dark pavement runways and aeroport buildings, will natural consume more than warmth. But London is really constructed up, importance nearby areas should as well be struck in a such path. The can be shown by comparing the ordinary monthly average heat of Heathrow to neighbouring Kew, 8 miles off. The heat diagram overshows down there is barely any distinction among Heathrow and Kew, but both of areas are heat, on ordinary, rather than the otherwise of the UK. How suggests how it is the buildings, quite rather than planes, helping to the high ordinary temperature. But which on CO2 gas levels sent by the planes? Professor Williams says CO2 is a hothouse gas and it does pitfall warmth yet, since it mixes really rapidly in the airborne, it warms the whole environment, not fair Heathrow. If you action the CO2 levels over Heathrow they wouldn't be any high rather than some components of the UK since it spreads so rapidly, he says. The Met Office space said us how their weather stations are constructed to really particular standards and any biases how could influence heat accounting records are undertaken in expense while take downward readings. The Met Office space as well sharpened out how Heathrow is lot miles of the ocean, that tool it does not gain of a cool impact how lot coast areas get. It says if you see at common heat accounting records, down there is a design among top heat and the range of the ocean. Get, else really hot place, Love Wisley, arranged in the Surrey Heath and typified by sand soil, he says. Grit is a nature isolator and so the heater impact of sunlight is saved in the top stratum just, that gets really hot and later warms the airborne. In executive summary, the common heat of any special weather plant is potential to be struck by several factors, such as the geographical features, the breeze and the ground. So, down there's more than to Heathrow's hot place rather than its vicinity to stormy jet engines and all how asphalt.